What if everything you've been told about reality is incomplete? What if the secrets of immortality, the nature of consciousness, and the truth of the universe have been hidden from humanity, deliberately buried beneath layers of myth, distortion, and suppression? There is an ancient figure whose presence echoes across time, whose wisdom was so profound that even the great civilizations of history only grasped fragments of what he knew. His name was Thoth, a being of mystery, a god to some, a legend to others. But what if Thoth was more than just a deity of Egyptian mythology? What if he was something far greater, a force beyond time itself, a cosmic architect who understood the very fabric of existence? Thoth was not merely a scribe or a god of wisdom. He was said to be the very mind of the universe, the keeper of knowledge so powerful that it had to be carefully guarded, passed only to those who were truly ready. His teachings were not meant for the masses. They were reserved for the initiated, for those who could grasp the deeper truths of existence without being consumed by them. The mystery schools of ancient Egypt held pieces of his wisdom, fragments scattered through history, appearing in different ages under different names, always guiding, always watching. Unlike other gods who were bound to their respective mythologies, Thoth was timeless. The ancients believed that he had been present at the very beginning of creation, witnessing the emergence of the cosmos itself. Without him, they believed, the universe would fall into chaos, for he was the one who measured the heavens, recorded the laws of existence, and maintained the balance of all things. He was more than a god, he was the consciousness behind reality itself. But what if Thoth's greatest teachings, the ones that could unlock the true potential of human consciousness, were never truly lost? What if they were hidden in plain sight, waiting for those who were willing to seek them out? The ancients believed that Thoth inscribed the deepest secrets of the universe into sacred texts, books so powerful that reading them could grant unimaginable wisdom, or, if one was unprepared, lead to complete madness. These writings, known as the Books of Thoth, were said to contain knowledge of life and death, the paths to ascension, and the very laws that govern reality itself. They were locked away, hidden from the world, to prevent their misuse. Yet, despite all efforts to bury them, Thoth's wisdom never truly disappeared. His teachings flowed through the mystery schools of Egypt, whispering their secrets to those deemed worthy. They appeared in Greece, where he became Hermes Trismegistus, the thrice great Hermes, a figure whose writings would form the foundation of Hermeticism, a philosophical and spiritual system that continues to shape modern mystical traditions. It is no coincidence that both Thoth and Hermes were seen as divine messengers, beings who could move between the realms of gods and men, revealing hidden truths to those who were ready. But there is something even deeper at play. The greatest of Thoth's mysteries, the knowledge that could shatter the very foundations of what we understand about existence, lies within the Emerald Tablets. Some say they are merely a myth, a legend passed down through esoteric traditions. Others believe they contain the keys to immortality, the nature of consciousness, and the ultimate structure of reality itself. The Emerald Tablets are unlike any other ancient texts. They are said to be indestructible, impervious to time, untouched by decay, surviving through the ages as if they were never meant to be lost. According to legend, Thoth himself, possessing knowledge beyond human comprehension, engraved the tablets on an unknown material, something that defied all earthly elements. This was no ordinary writing. These inscriptions were designed to withstand the erosion of time, to ensure that the ultimate truths of existence could never be destroyed. But why? Why would Thoth go to such lengths to preserve this knowledge, only to hide it away? The answer is as profound as it is unsettling. The ancients understood that knowledge, in the wrong hands, is not enlightenment, it is destruction. The wisdom contained within the Emerald Tablets was not meant to be freely given. It was a test, a puzzle that only those truly ready could decipher. The tablets speak of cosmic laws, the unseen forces that govern all things, the ability of the human mind to shape and control reality itself. They describe a universe built on vibration and frequency, a world where consciousness is not bound by time, but instead moves through dimensions beyond our understanding. One of the most famous teachings within the Emerald Tablets is the principle, as above, so below, as within, so without. At first glance, it may seem like a simple phrase, but within it lies the entire structure of existence. It reveals that the macrocosm and microcosm are reflections of each other, that the universe itself is a mirror of our own consciousness. If this is true, then reality is not something external that we merely observe. It is something we actively shape. The tablets go further, speaking of the illusion of time, explaining that past, present, and future all exist simultaneously, and that those who master the hidden laws can step outside the bounds of linear time. They describe the journey of the soul, the transformation of mortal beings into something more, a higher state of existence beyond the physical plane. Could it be that the knowledge within the Emerald Tablets is the foundation of all mystical traditions, from the construction of the pyramids to the alchemy of the Middle Ages, and even the modern understanding of quantum physics? Could it be that Thoth left behind not just wisdom, but a blueprint for human evolution itself? Yet, despite the power contained within the Emerald Tablets, mainstream history barely acknowledges them. They are dismissed as myth, as legend, as mere symbolism. But why? Who benefits from keeping this knowledge hidden? Throughout history, those in power have always feared one thing: those who think for themselves. The Emerald Tablets, if truly understood, would shatter the illusion that we are limited beings, bound by the constraints of this world. They teach that we are far more than we have been led to believe, that our minds hold the key to unlocking the very nature of reality. And this is where the mystery deepens. Some accounts suggest that the Emerald Tablets were never lost at all, that they have been guarded for centuries, protected by secret societies, mystery schools, and powerful elites who have used their knowledge in ways the world was never meant to know. Could it be that the secrets of manifestation, energy control, and divine consciousness have been hidden in plain sight, disguised in fragmented philosophies, waiting for those who seek the truth to piece them together? If so, what happens when that truth is finally uncovered? One thing is certain: Thoth did not leave his teachings to be forgotten. He ensured that the wisdom of the tablets would be preserved, not just in physical form, but in the very fabric of reality itself. Those who seek knowledge, who question the nature of existence, who look beyond the veil of illusion, will find themselves drawn to these truths over and over again. But the question remains: are you ready to see beyond the illusion? Because once you do, there is no turning back. The Emerald Tablets do not simply tell you about the universe. They offer a path to experience it directly. And if Thoth truly mastered consciousness, what does that say about his understanding of the mind, of thought, of the power of awareness itself? To answer that, we must go even deeper into the very fabric of existence, into the nature of consciousness itself. The Emerald Tablets are not just knowledge, they are a key to something far greater than we have ever imagined. The choice is yours. Are you ready to seek the truth? Throughout history, mystics, philosophers, and scientists have struggled to define the true nature of consciousness. Is it merely an emergent property of the brain, a byproduct of neural activity, or is it something far greater, an independent force that exists beyond the physical world? From the ancient mystery schools of Egypt to the cutting-edge theories of quantum mechanics, the search for answers has persisted, yet the truth remains elusive. Modern science attempts to confine consciousness to the realm of neurons and chemical reactions, reducing it to a function of the brain. But the teachings of Thoth, the legendary keeper of wisdom, suggest something radically different, something that could change our entire understanding of reality itself. Thoth did not view consciousness as something produced by the mind. Instead, he understood it as the very foundation of existence. According to his wisdom, reality is not something we passively observe, but something we actively shape. It is not fixed, not predetermined, but a construct, a malleable field of energy responding to thought, intent, and vibration. In other words, our perception of the world is not separate from the world itself. We are not just inhabitants of the universe. We are co-creators of it. This idea may sound mystical, but modern physics is beginning to confirm what Thoth knew thousands of years ago. At the quantum level, matter behaves in ways that defy conventional understanding. Particles exist in superpositions until they are observed, and consciousness itself appears to play a role in shaping reality. If this is true, then our understanding of the universe is fundamentally incomplete. We are not passive beings adrift in a fixed cosmos. We are participants in a grand, unfolding creation. One of Thoth's most profound revelations concerned the nature of time. Unlike our conventional understanding, which sees time as a linear sequence from past to future, Thoth described it as something fluid, something that could be bent, traversed, and manipulated. He spoke of time as being cyclical, layered, and non-linear, an idea that aligns eerily well with modern theories in physics suggesting that time is not absolute but relative, something that can stretch and contract, something that is not an unbreakable law, but a perception shaped by consciousness. If time is not what we think it is, then what does that mean for our understanding of memory, destiny, and the very structure of reality itself? The Emerald Tablets, attributed to Thoth, speak of a place called the Halls of Amenti, a mystical realm where time collapses, where past, present, and future exist simultaneously. This concept bears striking resemblance to the Akashic Records, the cosmic archive believed to contain the knowledge of all that has ever happened, is happening, and will happen. If Thoth had access to such knowledge, did he discover a way to step beyond time itself? Could he see reality from a vantage point beyond human perception, one where the illusion of time no longer constrained him? If so, what implications does this have for our understanding of existence? But Thoth's insights did not end with time and consciousness. He also revealed one of the most fundamental truths of the universe, the principle of vibration. For centuries, spiritual traditions have taught that everything in existence vibrates, from the densest physical matter to the most ethereal thoughts. The only difference between the physical and the non-physical is frequency. Thoth understood that those who can tune their consciousness to higher vibrations can access realms beyond the physical, beyond the ordinary senses. This is why the ancients did not merely see Thoth as a god. They saw him as a bridge between worlds, a being who could navigate the hidden dimensions of reality. If the power of consciousness and vibration is so profound, then why is this knowledge not widely known? Why do so many people still believe they are powerless, at the mercy of an indifferent universe? The answer is unsettling. A population that understands the true nature of consciousness is a population that cannot be controlled. If people truly knew, that their thoughts shape their experiences, that their minds are not confined by the artificial limits imposed upon them, then the world as we know it would change overnight. This is why mystical knowledge has been suppressed, rewritten, and dismissed as mere myth. It is why spiritual texts have been distorted, and why those who seek deeper truths are often ridiculed. But despite every effort to erase it, Thoth's wisdom has never been lost. It has survived in symbols, in secret societies, in the whispers of those who have glimpsed beyond the veil. And for those who are ready to listen, it is still there, waiting to be rediscovered. Perhaps the most astonishing revelation of Thoth's teachings is his understanding of death. According to his wisdom, death itself is an illusion. If consciousness is eternal, then what happens when we leave this physical world? Did Thoth uncover the secret to moving beyond death, to existing outside the limits of the physical form? Esoteric traditions have long hinted at something extraordinary, that Thoth never ceased to exist. Instead, he has reincarnated throughout history, appearing under different names, returning when his wisdom was needed most. In Egyptian mythology, Thoth was depicted as an immortal being, one who had witnessed the dawn of creation and who would continue beyond the end of time itself. Unlike other gods, he was not born into divinity through lineage or worship. He was self-created, a force that emerged beyond the material world. He was said to have recorded all knowledge, not just of the gods, but of humanity's past, present, and future. And within the ancient mystery schools of Egypt, it was believed that he had mastered the ability to leave his body at will, to travel between dimensions, and to return in different incarnations, always carrying fragments of his past wisdom. One of the most well-known identities linked to Thoth is Hermes Trismegistus, the legendary sage of the Hermetic tradition. When the Greeks encountered Egyptian wisdom, they saw undeniable similarities between Thoth and their own god Hermes, the messenger of the gods, the guide of souls, the master of esoteric knowledge. But to the Greeks, Hermes Trismegistus was not merely a god. He was a man, an enlightened figure who wrote profound mystical texts, including the Hermetic corpus, which laid the foundation for alchemy, astrology, and sacred geometry. To the Hermeticists, Hermes was Thoth reborn, continuing his divine mission under a new name in a new era. But Hermes Trismegistus was only one of many. Some traditions claim that Thoth's reincarnations extend far beyond Egypt and Greece, appearing throughout different civilizations as great teachers, visionaries, and philosophers. His presence can be traced in the legends of Enoch, the biblical patriarch who was said to have walked with God and ascended to the heavens without experiencing death. Some even suggest that he influenced the teachings of Pythagoras, whose mathematical revelations mirrored the sacred geometry found in Egyptian temples. Others point to the ascended masters of ancient mystery schools, figures who possessed knowledge beyond their time, whose writings and teachings seem to carry echoes of Thoth's original wisdom. What if the greatest minds in history were not just influenced by Thoth's teachings, but were Thoth himself, returning again and again to guide humanity? If this is true, then the implications are staggering. It suggests that certain souls, those who reach a level of enlightenment, can move through time, not in the way we traditionally understand reincarnation, where past lives are forgotten, but in full awareness of their purpose, carrying forward the knowledge they gained in previous incarnations. This would explain why certain ancient texts describe the process of ascension not as a metaphor, but as a literal transformation, one where the physical body is left behind and the soul continues, free from the cycle of birth and death. If Thoth has reincarnated multiple times, if he has returned throughout history to guide humanity, then the greatest question remains: where is he now? Has he appeared again in modern times, hidden behind another identity, waiting for those who are ready to recognize him? Or has his wisdom been scattered, waiting to be pieced together by those who seek the truth? One thing is certain: his influence has never truly disappeared. His teachings have remained embedded in esoteric traditions, in secret knowledge passed down through the ages. And those who resonate with his wisdom, those who feel drawn to his mysteries, may be closer to uncovering the truth than they realize. Because Thoth's greatest revelation was not just about knowledge. It was about what lies beyond this world. If his teachings are correct, then death itself is an illusion, and the journey of the soul is far greater than we have been led to believe. If Thoth's teachings are true, then death is not an end, but a transition, a shift from one state to another, dictated by the knowledge one has acquired. This idea is not new, but it remains one of the most hidden and suppressed truths of our time. If consciousness extends beyond the body, then those who master it are no longer bound by the limitations of the physical world. They become something more, something beyond the reach of ordinary constraints. Perhaps this is why secret societies and esoteric orders, from the ancient mystery schools to modern occult groups, have been obsessed with the teachings of Thoth. They understood that knowledge is not just power, it is liberation. And those who control knowledge control reality itself. Imagine a world where death holds no power over you, where the fear of the unknown does not govern your decisions, where existence itself is understood as a cycle rather than an end. If such wisdom were available to all, the structures of control that dominate our world, governments, religions, financial institutions, would crumble overnight. Fear is the greatest tool of manipulation ever devised, and nothing instills fear more effectively than the idea of finality. If people understood that they are more than their bodies, that they are eternal consciousness temporarily inhabiting flesh, then fear would lose its grip, and with it, the entire system built upon obedience and submission would collapse. But something even more intriguing emerges when we look deeper into Thoth's wisdom. He did not merely speak of the afterlife as a place of rest. He spoke of those who return again and again as guides, teachers, and keepers of knowledge. The idea of reincarnation has been explored by countless civilizations, yet mainstream narratives dismiss it as myth. What if it isn't? What if the greatest spiritual figures in history, the ones who have awakened humanity to higher truths, were connected to Thoth's lineage? What if they all tapped into the same hidden knowledge that he recorded so long ago? And if they did, what does that mean for us? Could we also access this wisdom? Could we remember what has been deliberately erased from our collective consciousness? If Thoth was right, then we are not prisoners of fate. We are not powerless in the face of death. We are not slaves to the systems imposed upon us. We are part of something much greater, something that has been hidden, not because it was lost, but because it was deliberately concealed. This knowledge was never meant for the masses. It was preserved in symbols, encoded in sacred texts, and whispered through secret traditions. The question is, who decided it should be hidden? And what happens when it is finally rediscovered? Throughout history, powerful knowledge has always been suppressed, guarded by a select few, while the majority remain blind to their own potential. The ancient Egyptians kept their mysteries locked within temples, revealing them only to those deemed worthy. The Greeks turned Thoth into Hermes Trismegistus, embedding his wisdom within the Hermetic texts, accessible only to those who actively sought them out. During the Middle Ages, alchemists and mystics disguised these truths in allegories, using symbolism to encode knowledge that could only be understood by those prepared to receive it. And even today, traces of Thoth's teachings remain, hidden in plain sight, woven into philosophy, quantum physics, and esoteric traditions. But the real question is, why? If this knowledge is meant to enlighten humanity, why has it been systematically buried, diluted, and ridiculed? The answer is simple. True wisdom is dangerous to those who seek control. If people understood that they are not powerless, that they are creators of their own reality, that consciousness itself shapes existence, the very foundation of society as we know it would disintegrate. The institutions that hold power today, religious, political, financial, are built upon the belief that authority is external, that it exists outside the individual. Those teachings dismantle this illusion. They reveal that true power is not given, it is awakened. That divinity is not separate from us, it is within us. Consider the Emerald Tablets. These ancient texts do not merely describe the laws of the universe. They provide the keys to transcending the physical world. If they were simply myths, why do secret societies continue to reference them? Why have scholars, philosophers, and alchemists dedicated their lives to deciphering their messages? Some accounts claim that certain passages from the tablets have been removed, hidden from public access. Others suggest that the full knowledge of Thoth has never disappeared, but has been kept within elite circles, passed down only to those deemed worthy of wielding it. And then there is the most unsettling possibility of all, that this knowledge was never truly lost, but was instead weaponized, used by those in power to shape the world according to their desires, while keeping the rest of humanity blind to their own potential. If this is true, then the greatest secret is not just that Thoth's wisdom exists, but that it has been used against us. The knowledge that could have freed humanity has been twisted into a tool for control. But here is the truth they don't want you to realize. This knowledge cannot be erased. It has survived for thousands of years, resurfacing again and again in different forms, waiting for those who are ready to see it. The real question is, what will you do with it? Will you dismiss it as legend? Will you allow the illusion to continue dictating your reality? Or will you begin to look deeper, to question everything you have been told? Because once you start down this path, there is no turning back. The illusion begins to crumble, and what is left is something far more powerful than you ever imagined. Those teachings were never just about knowledge. They were about transformation, about breaking free from the illusions that bind us, about reclaiming the divine power that has always been within us. But knowledge alone is not enough. Awakening is only the first step. The real question is, how will you use this knowledge? How will you apply it in your own life? And what will happen when more and more people begin to remember what was once forgotten? Because the time of forgetting is over. The age of awakening has begun, and Thoth's wisdom, hidden for so long, is finally being remembered. But the journey does not end here. Because now that we have uncovered what was lost, we must ask ourselves, how do we use this knowledge to truly awaken? And more importantly, how do we break free from the forces that have kept it hidden for so long? That is the next step. That is where true transformation begins. Knowledge by itself is not enough. You can uncover hidden truths, decode ancient wisdom, and glimpse beyond the illusions of this world. But unless you apply it, unless you allow it to change the way you think, perceive, and act, then it remains just information. Powerful, yes, but powerless in your hands. Thoth did not leave behind his teachings for passive observation. He left behind a blueprint, a guide for those willing to awaken, for those ready to step beyond the limitations imposed upon them. The question is, are you truly ready to use it? Because the moment you understand that reality is not fixed, that it is shaped by consciousness, everything changes. The limits you once believed in begin to dissolve. The idea that fate controls your life, that suffering is inevitable, that power exists only outside of you, these illusions fall apart. And that is precisely why this knowledge has been hidden. The world has been designed to keep you from it. But the truth is simple. You are not just a passive participant in reality. You are a creator. Your thoughts, beliefs, and expectations shape the world around you. And once you reclaim this understanding, you will never see reality the same way again. But knowledge alone is not enough. It is action that dismantles control. It is practice that transforms wisdom into experience. It is not enough to understand that consciousness shapes reality. You must live as if that were true. And so the final question remains, what will you do with this knowledge? Because the future is not predetermined. It is being created right now. The systems of control exist only because people believe in them. But just as the past was shaped by those who wielded knowledge, the future will be shaped by those who reclaim it. And now you have the choice. The time of forgetting is over. The time to awaken is now.